necessary ones Wow, thank you very much, Dr. Adam. Thank you very much. I think he has given us a legal dimension and the issue of sharing. We first had a political dimension, the legal dimension, and then moving towards the philosophical dimension, the social foundations. Let me also quickly, for just 10 minutes, invite the first. I stand here before you, my distinguished listeners, and I want to acknowledge before I proceed from my hometown, Obu, and of course, you know where my mind was going, by recognizing my dear and great brother, Oswafia one of Obu, Chief Benesive. Well, that is not to say that I should have recognized Akai Kenga. I mean, Akai, Her Excellency, Chief Mrs. Beatrice Ekwueme. And then, observing still the protocol and also confessing for the mistake I must have made, Professor Nnamdi Ekwueme, I happen to have known him by discretion. By discretion, indeed, that I was close to his immediate senior brother, Ijikara of Oko, Professor Las Ekwueme. As a matter of fact, just last month I visited him, the Igwe of Oko. I could see a host of a number of other people hereby represented, whose name I don't know, but permit me to proceed on this submission that I have to make today. And my own submission is basically philosophical. Hence, I will be talking about Alex Ekwueme, an activist as a non-state and state actor in Nigeria. Looking at it from the point of view of his impact on inclusive democracy and development in Nigeria. You see, my community being a neighbor, Oko, and my youthful experience of who the man was, as a matter of fact, constitutes what I will say today about him, on the impact he left on values, politics, and power in Nigeria. And that is the reason why I'm choosing Alex Ekwueme, activist as a non-state and state actor. Now, when you talk about Alex Ekwueme, Grand Commander of the Order of the Niger, the name he made in Africa is not lying only in politics, but in his achievement as a professional, as a philanthropist, and as a moralist in Nigerian politics. When I was young, those 70s and 80s, when we stay in Obu, we will see a light shining from Oko, whether it was a generator or a plant. That light represents Ekwueme development as far back as 1970s. From Obu and other communities around, you'll be seeing that light. And we are told that this light was brought by Ekwueme, installed at Oko Community Hospital. Hence, this light represents Ekwueme. Ekwueme represents the comet, represents also the star. And we grew up to see Ekwueme as a myth. Ekwueme as a professional, as a non-state actor, contributed a lot to the development of different societies, starting from his community, starting from his local government, Old Agwata, and then into Nigeria. There was a tale that is being circulated about the man who founded the FCMB Bank, how Ekwueme made that possible. And this was in continuation of Ekwueme legacy as a community developer, as a community development initiative, which even predated the United Nations development goal, which include community development and education. And as a matter of fact, you cannot talk about Ekwueme without his institutionalization of education in Oko and rural Grata, as a result of which many people went to overseas to study and now back to the FCMB. How the man who founded it followed Ekwueme in a queue under protocol, and the security men could not stop Ekwueme to attend to this. Very happy that this young man was coming from Obo. At the end, he said, I should go. Whether I'm there or not, I will see you, but let me have your address. Then I was at Lagos State University. After the launch of the book, he was not there. A week after that, collected a letter from the post office of Lagos State University. I opened it. It was a check sent by His Excellency, Ekwueme. These are values impact on the society. And that is the reason why I'm talking about Ekwueme, an activist as a non-state actor and state what? Actor. Ekwueme, as a non-state actor, contributed much to the development of Nigeria than a state actor. When you ask me, as a state actor, what did he contribute? I will mention them. But it was a continuation of his background in activism, in non-state activism. He made it possible that he made possible the construction of Enugu-Onitsha road. He made a lot of things possible for Igbo people. And for Nigeria in general, the reason why FCMB was able to come to fruition. But what I'm saying, that as Ekwueme as a non-state actor, was more valuable to Nigerians than Ekwueme as a state what? Actor. Now, 1994 Constitutional Conference to 1995, Ekwueme went there as a non-state actor, and he led the G39 group that stopped Abacha from transforming into a civilian head of state. Ekwueme talked about Abacha to his face. And then many people were thinking that Ekwueme would be arrested. Do you know that Abacha was afraid of Ekwueme less? He was afraid of him. Then, came to the Constitutional Conference, Ekwueme was the leader of the Igbo delegations when this devolution of powers and zoning system were introduced. By so championing these values, I'm talking of values, by so championing these values, Ekwueme had as the benefit of his mind the introduction of egalitarian values in Nigerian society. Two, devolution of powers. He introduced the six-zonal structure of Nigeria, which was the beginning of restructuring of Nigeria, or has restructuring started, my good friends. It started with the zoning structure, and we are waiting for the completion of this structure, restructuring of Nigeria. So now the movement is no longer alive. Can we continue with the restructuring of Nigeria? We have on ground the six zonal structure. And the reason for that is to promote fairness, justice, and equity in Nigeria. We are talking of values, politics, and power. So when we talk of LS Ekwueme as a state activist, state, non-state actor, and state actor, we are talking of his influence the values introduced into Nigerian system. And these values include democracy, deeply inclusive democracy. It includes constitutionality. Ekwueme, all these values introduced went against what you call political elitism and opportunism in Nigeria. As a matter of fact, when Oxford economists, went the other day, and he was talking about elite bargain crisis. And I told my neighbor, look, Ekwueme had started this fight against elite bargain crisis in Nigeria by distancing himself from the elites in politics and promoting the common interest of the common man in the street. And what is the elite bargain crisis all about? Legacies said he was pleading to Nigerian politicians to please consider the interests of the ordinary man in the street, consider the interests of the ordinary family. Not about the interests of the elites. Ekwueme did not represent the elites in Nigerian politics. He represented the downtrodden. And that was why he formulated 6 zonal structure for the Nigeria. He campaigned for devolution of powers. He campaigned for justice, fairness, and equity. Looking at his life, you will now also discover that this man spent more in politics than for his well-being. And that was why, when he was arrested among the lots after the overthrow of Shagari's government, Ekwueme was released after some time. And they declared that this man came into politics, a rich man, and came out of politics, a poor man. So what I'm saying, we are talking of the values of Nnamdi Azikiwe, Grand Commander of the Order of the Niger. So, gentlemen, the title is something that all of us have to promote, because it is a missing link in all discussions about Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe. You look at his personal life, look at his philanthropic life, look at his community development life, before you now begin to talk of his life in Nigerian states, where he played greater role as a non-state actor than a state actor. If he had been a power through, you would not have gone to the Constitutional Conference. You would not have led the Southeast delegation. You would not have led the 39G group. You would not have stopped Abacha from transformation into this. This is the values of a great man. And I have always said that Ekwueme, as a professional, whom I know very well, contributed much as a non-state actor. Look at National Art Theatre. He founded it. You know, yes, National Art Theatre, he was one that designed it. He was the chairman and the CEO of Ekwueme Associates. Ekwueme, you know, you may not know, was a sociologist. He was a lawyer. He was a quantity surveyor. He was an architect. He was all making up his intellectualism. Thank you very much.
Thank you so very much, Prof. I could see the touch of personality in the discussions. And then I don't mind.
Just about we are not on this discussion. I want to Akaide might not have known me, and I used to see him at a distance, but I remember my mother, Monica Ezobi, used to talk much about it and your relationship with them. I mean, my mother's people. So I want to acknowledge that here by way of respect to Akaide. I will have met several times, but you will not know me. Big people don't know small people. Thank you.
On the contrary, well, I think the selection of these panelists is one of the classics of this presentation today. This conversation should be here, and I want to that quite a number of persons that are here, especially local governments the state and calls responsibilities, and I want to see as that's item number 7 before they can take a look. Very especially that has led them to practice. That's like that. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Let me stand on the already established protocols. When I got the invitation to be here today, I felt so happy because the man we are celebrating, not just that he's a great man, nationally and globally, but to me as a person and to my entire family, he represents so much to us. I don't even know where to start to describe him, but I said as a person, he played so much role in the development of my community in Agwata local government area. Even though from history, I think he was on the opposite side, basically with my father, who happens to be the former traditional leader of Umochu. Of the things he did in terms of educational development, healthcare, and similar things that he did in my town. As a boy, I also benefited so much. Our Mrs. Beatrice impacted so much in me also. I am a product of government in primary school, and I think that's formed the foundation of my academic development and personal growth. So I want to say thank you so much to the entire Ekwueme family, to my colleague, Sir Gochukwu Ekwueme, who invited me, and my colleague from the South. I want to say thank you to you. Your father was a great man. The reason we keep celebrating him. If there is any project the center which is embarking on, but also, just as the MC said, not just that I'm a part of this school, but also the management of this center happens to be part of my life history. The director taught me political science in this school, and I'm happy to serve him and some other staff of the department and the students too. So I could say, without missing words, that I'm a part and parcel of this place. So whatever projects that this we want to launch, or maybe our ongoing projects, we want to get words on that and see how we could partner with the center. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Okay, let me okay. All right, all right. Choice comments, responses. I'm going to switch. We have spoken. Sorry.
Mr. Chairman, sir, this story of power sharing and the sixth geopolitical zone that Alex Ekwueme had enunciated there's an extension of that that is not been discussed in Nigeria because everybody thinks it is not workable. I will beg anybody who can. The family will send copies of his book, Within Nigeria, to the Nnamdi Azikiwe University Library. An extension of that geopolitical zone structure is a collegiate presidency, which he wrote down clearly, where there will be 6 vice presidents, one from each of the 6 geopolitical zones, with the first of them being the one from the president's zone. So that if the president wants to be no more, as happened to us, there will be no problem about how to resolve the issue, and then saying that the South have taken their turn. That's right, president will have completed the term of the president who died in office. That's a collegiate presidency where there will be 6 vice presidents and a president. I recommend to Nigerians have not spoken about that, have not thought about that, because they don't think it is workable. But politicians and political educators and those of you who are professors of political economy and all that should look into that aspect that was in the book Within Nigeria, because it's an extension of the 6 geopolitical zones. And if we did that, there'll be no problem of the power sharing anymore. We can now combine all that into power sharing of the 6 geopolitical zones rotating among themselves. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I think this is a very important aspect of the proposal, because the action actually was driven by the idea of intended to resolve a nagging problem of succession. That presidents. Vice presidents will superintend somehow the activities, the political activities, the children's concerns. And the resignation of the sitting president automatically the president. So the argument that coming in, and then the Northwest wanted back again with not addressing that proposal is what been put in place. This is a very important aspect. So you need to keep in mind. So So of backwards. Every representation. Every representation. They all want to shout to them that people in this presentation narrated to us the idea that it doesn't depend on aspects.
Hey, jump again.
About maintenance of this order. So let's start sense of time to ensure that certain is established in the process, then the process is not established until it becomes certain. And what makes it certain is to make it systematic, so that you can drive to the bed that the next government of Nnamdi Azikiwe must come from Central. And the next government is a matter of action. If you come to the center, and every those central, it's just right. Different from the family and others can be
And we have the lecture now. Look at about the lecture, all the ready. Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you. What's the problem with this? What's the problem with this? Well, getting the problem with this. If they are not ready, let's.
Let's continue the speeches. I wouldn't know that we end this again.
Yes.
I will discussion.
Okay.
And then
Yes.
okay, as we wait for the outline, so this is part of our problems, the technical issues. We thank the moderators again, the discussants for the good job. And now we can interact with the audience. We allow some comments, some questions, some observations from any parts of the audience. So if you want to talk to us, you just let us know. We'll come to you with the microphone. If you have questions, clarifications, we'll be able to do that from the discussion so far. Meanwhile, Prof raised the issue of collegiate presidency, and we think that will go a long way to solve the problem of leadership in this country. If we're able to have these zones properly organized, and we have a vice president for each zone, representing the zone at the center, I think we'll come a long way to solving the problem of leadership, rather than one section dominating for 8 years and probably for 16 years. Then we have talked about equity, fairness, justice, and equity. Because the issue of rotation is a problem because we don't perceive that leaders are fair to all other parts of the country. So we need to ensure that whoever comes to power will use that power equitably. We keep talking about equitable distribution of our national resources, our national income, so that people can feel a sense of belonging and therefore sacrifice themselves for the good of the nation. So if you have any contribution, we'll come to you. If you have observations. Otherwise, we'll start winding down. Yes. Okay.
Thank you, Prof. Um, about that. And about personalities. That check this contract. We don't have much to do budget. So much. I don't describe this. And that is one problem of class. The problem has transitioned this severally. Why leadership and after leadership, leaders have had to resort to what my father has said. It is right. So what challenge ideas of money in this country? Selections. These selections are made finally by all the leaders. The one of that up to now has tried to implement them. Take for instance, this independent country. Of all the challenges I've had under this administration, particularly the president, I've lost a real big that the area of the area. That are to Nigerians that they not done very well. And the Nigerians are the neutral records. What's this? Let's go to advisor. And Nigerians sometimes the most. And yet the most on clearing. If you look at the statistics, you by the national statistics, the now suffers in terms of endemic poverty. All the northern states will have the highest compared to the south. So the things are very much. That behind. That is the most important thing we need to do. How do we identify this value? So it becomes part of our civic culture. Because there's no point in doing this and that. So much. I have struggling to get Abuja to get money. Ekwueme has never had that cost to do that. So these are the things I want us to know about. And I want this country is going. Thank you very much. Okay. Any other comment? Yes.
And already established protocol. Center. Several weapons.
Thank you, Neno.
Society so like I said, special relationship his decent life. That's his wonderful. Because somebody issues a different thing, and we need to appreciate society. And my guess, I'm sure that's a discussion. I see some guests, but first let me invite Augustine. That's not working. Let me invite for his presentation. Okay, let me. We want to and you see here. Okay. Sit here, card. Time to organize. I don't know how to organize. Some of them are still at home. But we will stay here for more than 30 minutes. I promise you. We are still talking about the legacies of the time.
Welcome.
So we should also talk about scholarship, because this is one of the problems we have here. And followers, we get the followers who appreciate good leaders, who reject indolent leaders. That must be one aspect that we have to resolve. Why is it that we tolerate corrupt and indolent leaders? How do you the emergence of leaders in the stock of Ekwueme? Because we have many of them in Nigeria.
Na nwunye Ekwueme Chimungu tụrụ ahụ. Hello? 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 A na-ebizikwa ọma. Achịchị. Hello? Oh my God.
The princess. Yes. No. I don't know where did you
A na-achọzikwa close. Ka wago cake. MCA. Hello? Hello? Mano menyere eme. Mano menyere eme. Hello? Hello?
n'udo na ndụ nke ndụ ụmụ anyị ga-anwụta na ndị ga-amụta ndị ọzọ nye anyị ife ọma ihe ndị a niile ka anyị na-achọ ka anyị nwesịrị ike baa n'ike a na-arịọ Chineke ka o nye anyị mgbaghara ife ego niile anyị na-eme ka ọ ga-awụ ka anyị richaa anaeze nke ụwa anyị erikwa anaeze nke eluigwe n'afọ nke nna na nke ọbara nke mmụọ nsọ ejiri
The thing lasts.
Why I'm saying this is for the side to that that's motivated for us here. Of all that. That was but this we will probably understand that some supports and yeah, this, I think this is not stronger. Onion, as I want just me have planning as well. Yeah. As
Comments, more comments.
yes, but allow your own information. I think between power relation and power sharing. Because I think we are talking some matter.
Let us find these two distinctions in our minds academically. Rotation doesn't mean we are having to take it out of the family. You share it with you. And then that is what I of those who just come, we have discussed Ekwueme, His Excellency Dr. Alex Ekwueme, as a person, as a politician, and as a statesman. We have seen that Ekwueme represents the Igbo spirit of enterprise, resilience, and hard work. Hard work. If you have been close to Ekwueme, you I have been to him. And we have seen him as a politician. He brought his intellectual prowess to bear on the Nigerian political landscape. When we thought, GS, in the university a very long time ago, that education makes a man virtuous. I don't know about these intellectuals of today, but Ekwueme is a real, veritable intellectual. His nature is built on character. He is a disciplinarian. He is incorruptible. And he plays politics of fairness, equity, and justice, which is what we are looking for in power sharing and the rotation and in the collegiate system of government. And so, we are now asking questions. How do we get these virtues which Ekwueme represents to be on our character as a society, as a nation, as a people? How do we analyze these virtues so that we can begin to make progress as a people, as a nation? Ekwueme is not just a politician, he's also a business entrepreneur. He did so much to create wealth, not to amass wealth by corrupt practices. And that is what the problem is today in Nigeria. We need to begin to create wealth. We need to begin to plan our economic system, our productive system, so that we produce more than we consume, so that we can begin to have surplus wealth, which will be distributed. And as soon as we do this, there will be equity. People will now have a sense of belonging in their own country, and they will begin to sacrifice so that this country will make progress. The leadership must not continue to tolerate abuses, tolerate corruption,
tolerate greed from politicians, from whoever is in charge of our public wealth. We talk of oil theft. Is it possible in a society where people are responsible and sensible, and all these are swept under the carpet, and people are dying of hunger, and then we begin to talk about insecurity? So I think it behoves on all of us, don't just leave it to politicians. You have the right to resist, to say no. We remember South Africa, Bishop Tutu, the churches, the politicians, market women joined, students joined, lecturers joined, everybody to resist injustice, oppression. And this is why apartheid died overnight. We can cure this malaise in Nigeria if all of us begin to say no to injustice, to greed, and if we begin to propagate these virtues in Ekwueme, which we are celebrating today. So thank you, people. We said this is just the beginning. We want to introduce this. Every year, this celebration will continue. We'll gather a lot of people. Ekwueme is known everywhere in Nigeria, in the north and in the south, in all corners of Nigeria. So gradually we'll get there. This country is so blessed, and a lot of prayers are going on. And I know that God will answer the prayer of the suffering masses of this country. I have the pleasure to invite His Excellency Chief Dr. Oseloka Abaze, the former SSG to the Anambra State government. We have people everywhere, tangible people. So he will just say a word to us before we go.
I wasn't supposed to speak. Members of the High Committee, let me stand like this on the existing call. I don't think I'm qualified to speak here, so I don't know why my friend who has, by his own design, convinced Prof to ask me to speak. But anybody's not quite not an academic or not, so can you please? I'm Dr. Alex, if I in 3 phases. With a child's eye, 1960-61, Agwata, when there was only one Agwata County Council, no Rumba North, no Rumba South. My father was in charge of Agwata County Council. And Alex Ekwueme, a young architect, he used to drive a white Mercedes. Would always come to our house. There were only 2 people I knew that drove white Mercedes then. He and Chief Stephen Ezema of Ekwueme, that later became the Igwe of Ekwueme. 2 things as a child. It seemed like every time he came to see my father, it was to talk about the welfare of the people of Agwata. Primary among that welfare was potable water. Water was so scarce that outside the rainy season, it was problematic to find water to cook or water to drink. And Alex will come, see my father, they will sit down, and they will talk about classes I didn't know about. Obaji, Ikpelogu, Aguleze Chukwu, and the rest of them. And they will design the road in such a way that when it rained, they dug a big pothole, and the water would drain there. Some homes, they were encouraged to build the big ones. And what Alex and my father would always do, and they will say, now I don't know if you can follow this. And say, my father, if the county council cannot provide enough, he was willing to give money and provide. And that's my remembrance of him. They will bring along, distribute it like essential commodity. And people will go and fetch water, mud water, and put along. And after 1 hour, it was settled. You took the top, boiled it, and you have water to cook. That's my first remembrance of the day. There was a place also during that era in Achala. There was a spring, I think it's called Ekwueme or something like that. It's a spring in Achala. Very steep. He hasn't called it then. And he said to my father, listen, we have to go to Achala. Of course, being the rascal I was, I hopped into the car and went with them. And when we got there, it was like climbing down from 4 stories down to the bottom. But still water. But the only thing is that it was not demarcated. So people went there, they took their baths, they went there, they washed It was a day on my dad that decided, and they brought American Peace Corps officers. Took them there. The local government, the county council provided cement and stone. The actual people provided them. And they demarcated the price. So you can go and fetch water that is uncontaminated. The upper part, you wash your clothes, and the lower part. But the greatest thing they did was that when you go and fetch water from there, to go up is a problem. And then I got with so they decided to the first stairs coming up from that place to the top. We did that. I got up as a child, in case if I don't know. My second encounter with him was as when he was vice president, and they were living in Lagos. And my mother would say to me, I saw you, she says you don't come to eat. I was a bachelor. I said, she's very busy, and Dr. Alex is very busy. I won't go to eat. I live in Abuja. But eventually, sometimes I would go to my father to visit me, and I got fat. And I'm still in front of the people. I suppose every time I'm on this plantain, I say, thank you. Everything struck me to the house. And the dining table, eating. Was Governor Sam Mbakwe. Sam Mbakwe belonged to a different party from his dad, but there, two of them were eating. And I can never forget what Sam Mbakwe said to you. It's like the LS. What it meant was that even though the parties, of course, you know the story. Party. Went to see him there, and I said, sir, I need to come and see you. And he said, sir, I come to the house of Oko, and I drove to Oko and I saw him. I saw him come back and see another man. No problem. If they had the name right, I went to run for governor. Awesome, CIS. CIS is a tough decision because honorable governor, why not? I am not I'm from somebody else. I paused for a while, and he said, "What is working well." He did not think twice about it. He gave me his blessing. The second time I returned to the house was also to announce that I decided that I'm a roommate again. I think if he was hesitant at all, and I don't think he was, let's go. And that was and that was it. And it struck me that the way things happened, you have a person that conceptualized from G18 to G34, everything. But I think before then, he had kind of withdrawn from active involvement. After I announced that, there was a Southeast meet, and I think that was his first outing. Yes, that was his first outing. And we had the grand manager of the flag of, I think it had to be. And there was something he said that stuck with me. He said I've never been fascinated. Really, this should have something other. He's never been fascinated. But this one has kept its face. I was going to react. I did right. So everything I know about the great man is all fond memories. And I'm glad to be part of the celebration of his legacy today. I hope that this is the beginning of something that will endure. And please, my good friend, just remind me so I can put it in my calendar. I come here on Zig's, I think I missed that of this year, but I regularly come here. That's my affiliation with the university. So this is the second time that's your calendar. And we ask God to keep us, all of us, alive. Thank you and God bless you. Wow, thank you so very much. You know, discussion starts. I was going to answer the question. Determine for the coming. Sometimes we have stress. I say,
Thank you. Enwetego m ya, ana m on it. Mechaa anyị ekwuo. Inuga.
That's as we have annual election. I'm multiplying. And my house was taken from the council. And once I went there, November 16th of Sunday, that's lecture house. This is on annual because in the East now we have annual sit at home day. It is an annual sit-at-home day, and that is what first is going to be that's good last week. So thank you very much for all this. Thank you, sir. Mr. Chairman, I think a little announcement. As for the guests please
I'm waiting for them to give me attention. Can they turn up quickly?
Set us with our project. And then essentially sit down and some now okay. I mean, let's be at alert. All right. Let me invite tomorrow. To make a special it's the first daughter. I will respect them. But sometimes it has a way of hiding age, isn't it?
Thank you. Thank you. Igwe. As I had the room baby. Should I start with the Ekwueme family? I think I will start with the professors, since you are landlords. Prof. Nnamdi, darling, thank you so much. Prof. Identa, we go back, darling. Yes. Oh, not more than me, though. Mommy, happy birthday. Uncle Daddy. Uncle Daddy. My Excellency, sir. No miracle. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let me stand on the established protocols, but I have to call a few names. I would basically just like to say thank you very much. This, for me, is a bit emotional. As mom is, everything is emotional for you. But when the center was opened, Dad was away. He wasn't feeling very well. So he asked me to come and represent him. So I'm actually the one who was there the day the ribbon was cut. And I have to say a very special thank you to Prof. Nnamdi, because I know this has been going on for a while now. We need to do something, 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 and finally we're here and something is being done. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. It's even more exciting to know that it's going to be an annual thing. Ide actually doesn't like the announcements or the noise or anything. When this meeting, I wanted it just to be built and for work to be done here. And that was it. And Center for Multidisciplinary Research, I remember when I came because I was an architect. I was telling my excellency the other day that the reason that he wasn't bothered of how he went to law school. So, it all with the degree. And thank God, at least that's what I did. He went to law school after I did. So, And it was a joy. Thank you, Your Excellency. Just to remember this, I know that he lives on, and I just want to say a very big thank you. The way Nigeria is now, that is so topical that it's the time couldn't have been better. And I think I would just end by saying that we're all praying that in our lifetimes, it's important for me that in my lifetime, she lives to see his dreams for Nigeria realized. That's our prayer, and I know that God will do it for us. Darling, we'll see you next year. Thank you.
We have said it all. Somebody has not introduced the function. It's a lefty from somebody who has touched all of us. And like the us. That's exactly what I'm going to his measures. I think that it's the percent of the fact that it's a very question. That there's some a lot of things involved. It's very important. Essence. Just that first one and where this person must the website of the understanding of the center. This program will be the best. Research. Recall next time. Sorry, but Nigerians actually this section. That this an inclusion. Some messages are every chairman. So, none. Let ladies and gentlemen, for some of you, I'm a member of the U.S. cabinet, you know. Even beneath it, just to thank the organizers of this. It's so short. Many people were calling on me. Let me tell you one thing that happened actually some 2 days ago. Let me mention the name. The former vice chancellor of UNN, Professor Zumba, called me. He said, Ben, you are the Ekwueme we are seeing now. What's happening? They said they are calling on here, but I don't know what's happening. Nobody told us. Just one of the about 50 of them. I said, well, the important is Stevie Benter and the director. So prompt, but it's going to let it assure that next year everybody will be accommodated, because they believe that Ekwueme, he believes in all inclusiveness. He doesn't exclude people.
That was his life. And that's why I was able to come near him. When you talk of life of Dr. Ekwueme, is inclusivity. Everybody carried around. Sometimes when you get his heart, you want to get out to serve you. Palm wine. He said, no, if you want to serve you. So humble, someone spoke about him. I said, well, maybe some people will be saying, why didn't they talk? I said, no, I came in here to listen. He's my boss, he's my mentor. If I start telling people what I learned from him, where do I start? Where do I start? I met him first through my uncle, Mark Azikiwe. That was in 1957. When Mark retired from police. He was coming then, trying to contest Anambra State House of you see, House of Assembly. And by then, we don't know me. Very flashing young man. I was little in primary school, and my uncle said, this man is from, nobody knew him as an architect. He said, well, the regional or national manager of BP, Shea Petroleum. You hear what I said? So what? And he was building filling stations all over the country. That's what he was doing. So how people knew him. But whenever you see him, we like to get near him. And whenever he comes to our school, they were just sharing all this card, and we're so enthusiastic about it. So that's how I got to know him in 1957. So he was there, what I said, the national manager of BP. And you see the love in him. It's just like people go there and they say, this is a playboy. Very flashy. I came in with Dimozi in our primary school. We tried to follow him. And one thing I noticed is that whenever I came to see my uncle, Mark Azikiwe, who retired him, Mark is so happy to call us near. And we don't come to have a handshake. I'm saying 1957. So from there, we moved ahead. I said, look, it's a man of great enthusiasm. Somebody would like to meet to deal with him. And many things we have in common, including not to talk about tennis. We are playing every day for more than 30-something years. So I want to thank everybody who has come here. I'm pleased to thank Stevie Benta and my good friend, who is the director here. Stevie Benta actually was doing 70 years. I was one reaching to him. You know how you started, my friend? Can't we discuss about our boss? He said, no, let me take it over from where you started in stock. And I was surprised. He was able to come up with this. I want to thank you very specially that all of us benefited from those legacies. Let me put it that way. And he was able to come in this way. So I thank you, people, and God will bless you. And I will look forward that next year, all our friends and enthusiasts or family friends, everybody will be involved so that nobody will say, hey, people hijack this. Because that's what they were feeling. So thank you so much, and God bless you.
Thank you, sir. Please, after that, I'll just shot good photograph again. Sorry, we're taking this but we need to make him feel jealous now. But I will send this movie to him. He will know that we actually missed. Please. Thank you very much. It's very high. The highly respected student of faculty. So his condition for his health is married. So for that, so is my job is to just go up. So this Father, of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Mighty Father, God, thank you for everything that you have done. Thank you for everything that you have done. Jesus. That you take us back simply to our destinations. For the various families where we came from. So, Jesus' name. Of our hearts. Of our hearts. So the church shall be shall return to Jesus' name. The Father, the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Photographers. Photographer. Photographers. Just answer that for me.
Okay. You make it on mute.